back to my channel, Jamie Fran Colors. I'm Jamie, and today we're going to put in a background into this cute picture from World Within World by Kirby Roxanne. I'm just going to show you the cover if I can. There we go. Alright, we're going to be using pan pastels today to put in a background, and I'm thinking some sort of gradient between like orange and yellow or pink and yellow. So I'm going to kind of look through my pan pastels and see what I can find while I can talk to you. So it has been a couple of days since I last recorded, last filmed. We've had a day. So I filmed last on Tuesday. Today is Thursday. Wednesday, it just seems so surreal. Wednesday, I woke up at about 7, a little before 7, and about, well, I can tell you the exact time, 7:09, I was crawling out of my bed when it was a very strange sensation. Our house kind of felt like it was a tent in a windstorm. It's kind of the best I can describe it. But everything kind of started rolling, and it took me like half a second or more to like figure out what was going on, that we were having an earthquake. And so I just kind of like moved myself from the edge of the bed to the doorway and kind of waited it out. It only lasted like 30-40 seconds or so, a minute max. But so I live in Utah, in West Jordan, which is in the Salt Lake Valley area. And anyways, what had happened is that we had an earthquake, a 5.7 earthquake. And just to put that, I know like if you live in places where you have earthquakes all the time, that probably doesn't seem like much. To put it in a little bit of perspective from where me and my family are coming from, the last earthquake that was anywhere near that size to hit this area of Utah was in 1962. So for us native Utahns who have lived here our whole lives, like that was quite the experience to feel the earth move underneath us. My kids, everybody was fine. Our house is fine. There was some damage in town. The Salt Lake Airport was shut down. There was some water lines broken and flooding and different things, and there were some homes in West Valley that had some damage, but overall everybody's fine. And yeah, my kids, they were okay. They were really freaked out. I have 2 8-year-olds, one of which is autistic, and then a 5-year-old, a little boys. And they were freaked out. Caden had been downstairs by himself. He's my 8-year-old. So he came running up the stairs when it was over, and oh my gosh, he was really freaked out. He was shaking. My 5-year-old was like wide-eyed. Now, Carson, my little autistic boy, he's 8 as well, but he was like, whoa, that was crazy. And so we kind of had a chuckle, or like, we were pretty shaken up. But like things were falling, like it was big enough, things were falling off our walls and crashing a little bit, but no damage was done, and we were all fine. Our kids were fine, our house is fine, neighborhood is fine, everything is okay. Just kind of freaked us out a little bit. Alright, I'm going to use yellow ochre tint, and just to have that on top of like our schools are all closed because of the COVID-19, and our churches are closed, and we're in isolation, and we're trying to figure out how to do school at home, which I have never in my entire life had a desire to do. And so, and so I was already stressed. My husband works in the healthcare environment. He's a pharmacist, and he usually works 12-hour shifts, and now they're making him work 13-hour shifts. And so like next week alone, he has to work 67 hours while I'm at home trying to figure out how to do homework and homeschool 3 little boys, 2 of which one is autistic, the other one has ADHD. My 5-year-old has ADHD and behavioral issues because of drug exposure. He's adopted. And so like just the dynamic of the whole thing, and then to just have an earthquake on top of the whole thing was just like, today I'm like laughing about the whole situation, and I think like it's just so bizarre and so crazy that it doesn't even feel real. But yesterday I was a pretty big mess. Like I was really rattled. I was just really stressed out by the whole thing. It didn't help that, you know, COVID-19, my kids are home, I'm having an earthquake, I start my period, we're having aftershocks of like 3 to 4 on the Richter scale, and it's like, it was just crazy. It was just insane. And then my husband's calling and saying that his boss is making him come in an hour early every morning, and it's so that the elderly can have the store to themselves and can get their medications and stuff. But it's like, so that just like, I can't even feel angry about it without feeling guilty as well. And I just like, today I'm just laughing. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing to change my circumstances. And I can either be incredibly stressed out and angry, and or I can just laugh and be like, you know what? I'm gonna get done what I can. I'm gonna help the kids with what I can. And the rest of the time, if we're watching movies and watching Disney Plus and hanging out, then so be it. Like, we just have to survive. Whether or not they like get all of their classwork done, which maybe is not the right attitude. Maybe I need to be a little more, but it's like, I just can't do everything. So it is what it is, and I'm just gonna go with the flow, so to say. But it's been a little crazy. Because I've never been in an earthquake. It was quite the experience, and we did pretty good. We were calming down, and about 1 o'clock we were feeling good about everything, and then we had a 4.6 like aftershock earthquake, I don't know. And that kind of rattled us back up, and all our nerves back on edge. By the time my husband got, and then like every little one, like every earthquake we had, when I went to bed last night at 10, it had said we'd had 99 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. And so like by the time my husband got home at 9:30 at night, I was so exhausted and so rattled and tired, because like my kids are on edge and they're feeling it and they're not handling everything well, so they're just fighting all the time, and they get scared every time there's a little aftershock, and I'm trying to handle it and reassure them and trying to get them to go to bed, even though they're like all freaked out. What happens if another one happens? What are we going to do in the middle of the night? And I'm like, it's fine. I really don't think there's going to be a big one. I just think there might be some little ones. And if that's the case, just take a breath and go to sleep. You'll be okay. And if it's a big one, then roll off your bed and curl up in a ball butt next to your bed, and I'll check on you as soon as it's over. But there's nothing to be scared of. And I'm like telling them all this, you know, like as my hands are like shaking and I'm trying to like keep my nerves under control through the whole situation. I'm just like, oh my gosh, please don't let there be another big one. So anyways, they've always warned us that like we're on fault lines, like we should have a big earthquake, you know, but I mean, it's been since 1962, since our last one, and so we get a little comfortable, you know, we don't think they're gonna happen. So anyways, that's my story. That's what I'm trying to live through and handle and get videos done, and I don't know what's happening in the world. I just hanging on for dear life here. This is Permanent Red Tint. I'm just taking this soft tool. They're made for pan pastels. You can use like a cotton swab or, you know, cotton ball or whatever you have if you don't have. You can also use stick pastels and just rub the cotton ball on the stick pastel and then rub it on your page if you'd rather do that. I like using pan pastels for a background because they erase very easily, so, and you can color over them very easily. So all this that I don't have to be too careful and have to get in between each individual line, because I can either erase what I don't want or I can color right over the top of it, which I think is what we'll do for most of it, because these are light enough colors that I think it's going to be just fine to put our greens and stuff over the top. So, yeah. Today was much better. Like, I watched a live color and chat with Sammy for a few minutes. As soon as I did, my kids started fighting and I had to go deal with them, but took a minute for that, and I finished reading my first novel of the year. And we got all the homework done that we knew about. My one son, Caden, his 8-year-old Larry, the older one, his teacher had it all kind of set up by today, and so we were able to do everything. Like, she had her online classroom set up, and so we were able to see what his assignments were, and we were able to get his done. Curly's teacher wasn't quite set up or ready today, which I don't blame her. I mean, between the earthquakes and everything going on, and then like her whole classroom is special needs kids, and so it's just a lot to try to have to, like, between speech therapy and occupational therapy and their psychologist and everything they have for that classroom, and to move it all into everybody's home. It's just a lot, and I think, you know, they're doing the best they can, and I'm sure their nerves are as shot as mine are between everything, because they have their own families too at home that they have to take care of, and then she's trying to get all these special needs kids set up at home, and everybody's parents are freaking out. So I'm just trying to, like, I'll just keep doing my flashcards with him that we always do, and, you know, just kind of wait until she's ready. Plus, like, he doesn't test well. It doesn't really matter what they learn. They continue on with their class. So there's just not a whole lot that we need to, like, really fret about with him. So as long as we can keep him from, like, losing information, we should be okay. I'm looking for an eraser. Here we go. Because I've got, like, this spot. Do you see how I have this spot here? I'm gonna use my kneaded eraser. I might have just gotten, like, a piece of grease or oil or something on the page that made the pan pastel stick a little funny. So I'm just gonna erase it and then try again. Yeah, there we go. So we just did flashcards with him. We got my oldest son's homework done, and then my preschooler goes to a behavioral preschool where they work on behaviors rather than academics. So he's always done his academics at home online. So for him, it's not too different, except that he's not going and getting his behavioral things, so he is acting out and being a little bit of a butt. But overall, like, his schooling stuff's about the same, and not too worried. So got all that done today, and like I said, finished my first novel of the year, and my kids just hung out, and I don't know. My husband is home tomorrow, so that'll be nice. He can help with the schoolwork in the morning, and then maybe we can play some family games or something for a little bit and kind of entertain them, or some video games. Ugh, it's just crazy. Don't know if you guys even care about this stuff. It's just what I have to talk about while I'm doing this. I hope you guys are okay and you're figuring out your lives around all of this. If your husbands are home or kids are home or you're home and not used to it. I don't know. It just seems like a little bit of a lot lately, you know? Just a lot. Kind of ready for it to calm back down. But I just kind of have the feeling that it's not going to for a while. I don't know if you guys are getting that feeling, but I don't know. I just don't know that my kids are going back to school this year. I'd almost be more surprised at this point if they do go back to school before the end of the school year than if they don't. And that doesn't make me happy. But I'm almost like thinking that that's what's happening and preparing for that, so that maybe if they do go back to school, I'll just be like, oh, awesome, happy thing, you know? But I'm not going to be like disappointed and crying if they don't go back to school. That purple just seems really dark to me for this, so I'm considering a different color. I don't know. Do I want to go like, what's this? This is the violet tint. What's this one? This is like violet, right? Yeah. I don't know. That just seems dark. I don't know that I want to go to red either, though. What do I want? What do I want? This is my process, guys. Just talk until I figure out what I want to do. Maybe even going to the magenta instead. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will just kind of go into magenta instead. So I'm going to put a little more of the permanent red tint down that I'll kind of blend into with the magenta. So maybe if I just kind of like prepare myself and think that the worst, which meaning my kids not going back to school, is what's going to happen. If they do go back to school, it'll just be so amazing. Okay, I'm a little bit of a pessimist apparently. Okay, let's tap into that magenta. Okay. Yeah, that works pretty good. We'll just kind of... I'm hoping that it will warm up soon, then at least I can like kick them out to the backyard, you know? Like, it's been raining today. Earthquakes yesterday, rain today, probably snow tomorrow, you know? But, oh well. That would be nice if I could just go outside, go play outside in the backyard. Can't go to the park, but at least I could like go out and play on the trampoline and, you know? I'm going to bring this up a little bit right there. I'm also going to bring it up above the, over on this side a little bit. And I'm going to take just my paper towel. And then I'm going to scrub off my soft tool, and I'm going to grab a little more of that permanent red light, our pink color, and bring it down here a little bit more. Okay, that looks really pretty. I like that. All right. Cool, cool. Let's take my, this is just a kneaded eraser so I can kind of form it into whatever shape I want. And it picks up pan pastel just amazingly. So kind of, I have an electric eraser somewhere around here. I don't know where it went. I'll trip over it one of these days. But I almost prefer the kneaded eraser because I can get it whatever shape I want. It picks up the pan pastel very easily and it doesn't damage the paper at all. So I kind of like them better than the electric eraser. Not razor. Like I said, I will be able to color over most of this. I'm just trying to get a little bit of the magenta off because it is a little bit of a darker color. Okay. Alright, so there is our background. I have like this one little spot right here I'm not sure I like. So I'm just going to lift it again. And then put the pigment down again, see if I like it better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so my last step with the background is that after I have everything erased, I'm going to spray it with my Permanent Fixative by Rembracher. And I have to erase everything first because once I spray it, it won't erase to pure white anymore. You might be able to lift a little pigment, but you will not get it back to white like you can before you spray it. So I just want to like make sure I have everything lifted that I want lifted. Okay, so I have sprayed it. We'll let it dry. It'll be good to go. All right, I love using a pan pastel background. And if you don't have any pan pastels, I recommend picking up a couple and trying them because they are amazing. They lay down so much pigment with so little effort, and you can't erase anything that you put down and you don't like. And they are a little pricey, but they last forever. So because you use so little at a time. So I do highly recommend them. I'll link some down in the description box down below. And I think next time we'll do, we'll try to do all of the greenery. So that will be fun, and that will make it really feel like we've done a lot with this picture. So let's do that next time, and I hope you guys have an awesome week, a weekend, that you find time to relax, de-stress, don't think about what's going on out there in the world. And yeah, we'll just take it one day at a time and see where we end up on this wild ride. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.